We are here to learn how to expand. This is expansion first. That's bigger than what do I do about money? That's bigger than what do I do about my relationship? Because maybe it wants to purge the you that had the money issue along with the money issue. Maybe it wants to move you into an all that isness that lets go of the you that has the relationship issue in the first place because it's just not needed anymore. But if you can't egoically get rid of it, and that's why expansion has to be first, you guys. Barb asks, I'm struggling to let go of the fear of leaving my job. Okay, so first of all, check out, I just want you to allow the fear to be there, right? What if you don't have to let go of the fear? What if life wants you to feel the fear? What if the fear needs to be seen versus released? And what if by seeing it, it'll be released, right? So instead of trying to get rid of the fear, can you just let a fear of leaving your job just swim through your body right now? And maybe there's something deeper under it for a second, right? Like everyone think of something you're scared to let go of, right? And instead of just trying to let go of, I want you to know you cannot self-release. So when you finally accept something, God takes it, right? But when you're trying to egoically release, remember this, you cannot orchestrate your own surrender. So when you're trying to get rid of something, you're saying ego's going to deal with this, right? Not God. And when you finally feel through, I want you to know that that surrender that you're trying to orchestrate has information under it. Be in the unknown for a minute. So Barb, my first thought is don't struggle to let go. Think of how much more that is. Just embrace and be with the fear of leaving your job. Dot says, why do we say surrender then if we can't? Because we all have different ways that we mean it. I definitely want Barb to surrender, but not try to egoically get rid of, like just surrender that there's a fear of leaving your job. Like meaning surrender and let it be seen. Maybe there's a little childhood Barb in there that wants to be seen. Barb says exactly what we need to hear. That feels scary when I think of just letting it be and surrendering. And my question to you is, why is that? What would that mean about you? Right? What would that mean about you? Like it sounds like life is trying to take you to a deeper place. So let that fear come up because maybe something that was attached to the job or attached to the controlling or the idea of when you get to egoically surrender to it is dying. Maybe something's dying, but maybe it feels scary because you're now in a deeper connection. You're looking from that permanent viewer, and what you are is not dying, but what you were tied to is dying. And if you accept that it's scary, it usually will move when you fully accept it and its scariness and still hear it, it will usually move from scary to sad, right? Scary is, oh shit, you're about to see me. Once it's seen, it moves to sad, right? So scary is shit, don't look at me, don't look at me. And you're talking about it, you're like, I think it's scared, but you're not fully embracing it. We're still kind of connected to the outside, looking at it, kind of seeing it. I see you scared. Can you just say this, Barbara? Just say to it, like, I see you, you're allowed to be scared in my body, right? What are you scared of, everybody? And just let that come to light. Let it be seen. Anything you're scared of. I'm scared to go through the divorce. I'm scared to not know what's going to happen. I'm scared of a food shortage. I'm scared of losing my money. Let it just be there. Just, you're allowed to be abandoned in my body. You're allowed to be scared. You're allowed to be unworthy in my body. It's always that. It's always boiling down to this kind of thing. Barb says, my heart started pounding when I said that out loud. That's because you have become the safe space. You've become the hospice for the past story. You are at a higher consciousness now, Barb, than where you lived in the past. right? You are now moving into a higher frequency. So the heart started pounding because you've now created a consciousness that's big enough to understand what's really going on. And that thing is coming to light. And I want you to not bail from it. When your heart's beating hard, that means we're getting close. Don't go to an addiction. Don't go to a distraction. Don't justify it and push it back in. Become present. Think of what's happening. You're not in actual danger right now, right? Like your heart's supposed to beat hard if someone's coming into the room with a knife or something. It's not because of a thought, right? Just stay with it. You're allowed to be scared in my body. You're allowed to beat hard, heart, in my body. You're allowed to feel panic. Get present, get really present, and notice that you're the one that's sitting here, Barb. This is why we don't necessarily want to let go of the job first. We might have this stuff here that says, I want to be felt. Now you can let go of the job and this stuff will all be registered too, but you can do it even while you still have the job. We can do this tonight, even if you don't put your letter of resignation in tomorrow, right? So get present and just notice what it feels. Hell, maybe you'll feel really good and re-love the job. Who knows? And maybe you won't. But what would we do if we did it from love and not fear? If we do it from love, it would expand me to do this. Not I have to get rid of it. Barb says, as I took some deep breaths, my heart settled and I could feel it moving out. My hands are tingling. That's almost always what happens. The energy is like this clump that starts to move through your body. Let it move around. You might even notice it. Sometimes, Barb, you might notice the feeling moving out of your body. I felt feelings over here. Like I felt the other end of the room is depressed, right? Like I can feel feelings outside of the body because I want to offer you, we're moving to a frequency that's farther than the body, you guys. The first level of consciousness is I am my emotions. So I don't want to feel sad. I don't want to feel whatever. I'm just going to stay within these emotions. And I don't even know that I can break out of that. The second level is I'm the body. I'm everything that I'm feeling in the body. But as you keep doing this, you'll start to get evidence that you're actually an expansion past the body, that you're actually the all that isness being felt through the body, but you can start to feel emotions in your backyard. You can start to feel frequencies and feelings, and you'll notice that once you move to that frequency, the body itself is a trap, right? To think that I'm just the body and I just got to continually protect the body. You might notice different things that if you think you're the body when you're really this all that isness, right? You'll feel trapped in the body and the body will show you. It'll give you rashes and issues and different things. It'll give you pain. It'll give you things because you're not living in the expansion of the body. You can feel all of this. You are all of this. I want you to know you are all of this right now. Deep breath in. Barbara, can you feel, or Barb, sorry, if you're like, not Barbara, can you feel the feelings outside? Can anyone feel feelings outside of your body right now? Can anyone feel sensations in the room or even outside of the room? This is how big you are. This is how big your consciousness is. Free yourself from the tyranny of that I am the body, and the definite tyranny of I am the emotions, right? I can't feel that yet, but I can feel it moving down my body. Awesome. That's great too. Let it move down your body. Let it move around. Let it do whatever it's doing. Yeah, if you can feel other people's feelings, that's a sign right there. Aren't you somewhat out of the body there? Like there's some kind of out of the body, and you can eventually live out of the body. And you'll feel more pain when you're protecting the small self, right? When you're going, okay, don't hurt me, because there's now a me again. But when I said that, is anyone feeling a frequency that's out of the body, that's more than the body? Because there isn't a you. Someone gave you that name. The you that's trying to defend itself is something that'll dissolve into the all that isness, and you'll still be here. So you must also be on a frequency that's outside of the body, right? Feel the other room. Feel the feelings that are moving through the body, whatever, but feel them from this oneness that's kind of outside of that small idea of you, right? Because the only thing that feels trapped is a small idea that you have inside the body. You're not even in the body. You're in a small avatar of you inside the body. That's what feels trapped. You can't ever feel trapped for real, even if we put a wall here, right, then the body might be trapped. I can't get to the other side of this wall. But if the wall is contained within you, there's no such thing. This whole thing is contained within you. All of this is contained within you. Hitler is contained within you. Do you understand this? Everything is contained within you. So Barb, part of the reason the job was a 5 out of a 10 was because you had to shrink yourself to stay there. Now, you might not have to, and you might still have to, I don't know. But maybe it was being a smaller frequency that was a 5 out of 10 more than the job itself. And yeah, if the job doesn't support your expansion and feels like this, maybe one day you're going to let go of it. That's fine. But let's see what happens if you are a 10 out of 10 in your body. Can you go into your job at a 10 out of 10? That's possible. I mean, you can be in prison and feel 10 out of 10 because it's not just circumstances. It's what frequency am I playing at? And something that would make something a 5 out of 10 is the subconscious connection to the all that isness, but the belief under that you're the small separate story, right? That you're this small separate story of Barb, right? Like, so what happens if you're the all that isness? Maybe you'll change the whole profession there, right? I feel at ease. Breathing is calm. Let me ask you this. From this frequency, Barb, what's your job feel? Is it still a 5 out of 10, or can you feel this frequency and change what the job number is? It's fine either way, but I'm just curious if your perception of the job changes. It's weird because that became the theme tonight, right? Like you can change if you had an issue with your mother, you can change your perception of your mother by changing yourself to a 10 out of 10 by being in the frequency that you're supposed to be in and bringing that unconditional love to your mom, right? Versus trying to get your mom to open up so you can move yourself into a 10 out of 10, right? Well, and those things I think won't exist the more you're in. So Denise says you can be in a concentration camp and be in a 10 out of 10. I hear that. And I believe the more we're in that, the more you'll see the universe changing, because we've only known a world where we're living in the small separate self. We've never been the full sun expressing itself, right? Barb says it's still a 5 because it's not my highest calling. I know I'm staying in a job because it's what I've always been taught. Work your way up, make good money. So expansion is calling to you, Barb. You can tell that a childhood pattern, that's the first level, is keeping the job to keep your mom happy or your dad happy, work your way up. But something in you is asking for you to expand. So Barb, if we take our lesson earlier and I say, and you say to the universe, what do you want me to let go of? And what do you want me to move towards? What answer do you get right there? What comes up for you? I'm loving this call tonight. Everyone feel the all that isness, feel the expansion. Ask God what God wants, right? What do you want from me? What do I need to move towards? Let go of fear, move towards full surrender to me. So what would full surrender to you do as far as that job? Does it say let go of the job, Barb? We've never seen you without that pattern. Isn't that amazing? It says, let go of the job. But now do you see how you're doing it out of love and not fear, struggling to let go? That's expansion versus contraction, right? It's just going to take care of the higher. The higher says, let go of it, but it's out of expansion and not contraction. Is everyone getting what that I'm talking about there? That's a different thing. She was trying to contract her way out of it, right? I'm trying to struggle and get this off of me, but you weren't in a frequency that could release it. You were still the small Barb trying to get rid of the small Barb. Now you're the expansive Barb that's going to let go of both the job and the Barb that would keep that job. That's the difference. And this is why expansion has to be first. That's why our event, ladies and gentlemen, is called Expansion First. Expansion First is the next event we're going to be doing. And this is why we are going to be moving towards expansion. That's going to be July 30th and 31st, you guys. We're going to be talking about expansion first because it takes care of the small things, right? If you make expansion first, it just tells you, yeah, the job's irrelevant now where I'm taking you. But wouldn't it be scary to let go of the job if you were looking down at it from a smaller frequency with no idea what was on the other side? Barb, you just created a space where you saw, even though you don't know the specifics, there's another side to this. There's an expansion. There's something telling me to move. And it goes, just let go of the job. Now it's not a big deal. It's not a big dramatic, oh my God. It goes, we're done with the you that does what it can to please your parents and do what you learned in your childhood to work your way up. It's you moving towards your expansion. So mark in your calendars, you guys. All right, mark in your calendars, July 30th and 31st, expansion first. That comes free again with the Absolutely Everything Pass, ladies and gentlemen. Your expansion has to be first. We're not moving into the smallness. We're moving out of our bodies. We're moving into the all that isness. We're moving into a frequency that's beyond anything we know. Understand, you are not at the end. Do you get this? You're not done expanding. And sometimes we get scared to move towards things that we don't understand. But at one point you had to be vulnerable to start to learn to walk. You had to be vulnerable to learn to talk. You have to do it wrong. And where life wants to take you is beyond all of what you know. So we are here to learn how to expand. This is expansion first. That's bigger than what do I do about money? That's bigger than what do I do about my relationship? Because maybe it wants to purge the you that had the money issue along with the money issue. Maybe it wants to move you into an all that isness that lets go of the you that has the relationship issue in the first place because it's just not needed anymore. But if you can't egoically get rid of it, and that's why expansion has to be first, you guys. And that's why we're doing an event for free again on the Absolutely Everything Pass, July 30th and 31st, free 2-day event, expansion first. And we're going to expand beyond what you understand from here. Right? It's beyond what you understand. So even when you're like, check this out, even when you're like, oh my God, I'm going to get this out of that and this out of that, that's still an egoic construct that can see from a small thing. And we're going to expand from that understander. When I think about me fasting every other day and what I will get out of it, it's really big, but I know it's so much smaller than what I'll actually get. I know that there's an expansion that's going to surprise me and blindside me with all kinds of synchronicities and magic and lessons that are beyond what I know, because I've expanded a lot in my life and I'm going to even expand more than that. I want you to get open to the idea that expansion is trying to happen for you in a way that it's never happened, even if you've had breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough. We're just scratching the surface, you guys. We're just getting started. I believe that 2022 could be really magical if you have an understanding of what's going on and do the constant work of really being in surrender and letting the universe remove from your body what you're not. Join me and my team for an insane, powerful 2-day event. And join us on the Absolutely Everything Pass. Join a community of people who are in the same work as you. I can't wait to see you there.